My name is Nancy Wanjiro, and I'm a psychological counselor. And this evening, I would like to briefly talk about the anxiety and the stress that some of us may be experiencing during this time of social distancing and quarantine, where we find ourselves with a lot of time at home without being able to visit our friends, our relatives, or even being able to just walk out freely. The amount of information that we are receiving can be very overwhelming, and some of the information may inflame some guilt and even despair, thus increasing the stress levels and the anxiety levels, which in return harm our physical well-being, our emotional well-being, and also our mental well-being, where we find ourselves emotionally being overwhelmed, sometimes being very sad, apprehensive, irritable, and even feeling very alienated. Behaviorally, we may find ourselves having a functional shift where maybe sleep may increase or decrease. Some people may experience an appetite shift where some may find themselves overeating while others may find themselves being unable to eat. Some may find themselves with an energy level that has shifted to lower levels. Change in sex drive are some of the behavioral changes that some people may experience during this time. Mentally, some people may experience impaired judgment, excessive worrying, muddled thinking, and decisions that were usually not very difficult to make may become very difficult at this time. Physically, the stress may present itself by some people having body aches that are unexplained. They cannot be explained in any way. Malaise, frequent infections, twitches, breathlessness, among other physical symptoms. And this we call psychosomatic symptoms that cannot be explained by anything. And over time, this stress may lead to, the stress and anxiety may lead to some clinical depression or anxiety disorders, or even type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, among others. So this evening, I would like us to discuss a few ways that can help us cope. Because if we do not cope with this situation like we have seen, it may lead to more damage in the long run. Some people actually may even be prone to negative coping strategies such as excessive drinking of alcohol or use of drugs. Some people may get into watching pornography now that there's so much time on the internet. Some people may have negative ways of coping with anxiety. Remember, a human being, when they feel anxious, they try to find ways of coping or even escaping that anxiety and the stress. So how do we cope with this stress or even the anxiety that arises at this time? First, I would like to say that our attitude during this season is important. Telling yourself that it is okay to stay at home. It is okay to have an extra hour of sleep. Remember that at this time you are not waking up early to beat traffic so as to get to the office. So it is okay to have an extra hour of sleep. And when we tell ourselves it is okay, then it removes the guilt that may come with being at home or having to sleep an extra hour, or even having not to work for the 8 hours as required now that we are working from home. Remember that attitude is everything, and your attitude will determine whether this period will be a fruitful period for you or it will be a stressful period for you. Accept that this virus is here, and accept that you're not going to work. Accept that you cannot visit your friend, you cannot attend that funeral, you cannot attend that wedding. Accept it. And once you accept, then you'll be able to cope very well. Appreciate that the steps that the government is taking are meant to keep us safe. They are not punitive. They are not meant to punish us. The curfew is for us. The lockdown is for us, and it is meant to protect us. And when your attitude is geared towards accepting it and appreciating the steps that are being taken, then for sure you will cope better. Therefore, a positive attitude and outlook towards life is great in promoting your general well-being, your mental, physical, emotional, and even your behaviors. Knowing that waking up in the morning and doing the exercises that you can be able to do at home, or even taking that walk, ensuring that you're taking precaution, wearing your mask while doing that walk, all that will work towards ensuring that you're coping very well. Negative thinking and even negative attitude has been known to increase vulnerability, and in return, it affects our physical health and even our emotional health. So this evening, I would like to call us to a point where we accept. And if any of us is coping with the anxiety, remember what the Bible tells us in Philippians 4:6, that do not be anxious of anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your request to God. If you're anxious, present it to God. If you're worried about that loved one, tell the Father, because He's listening. Thank you once again for taking time to listen. Please do not walk alone. If you're experiencing anxiety that you're unable to cope, kindly, you can call me. We can agree how to go through a therapy session, because we will still be here after COVID-19 is gone. May God bless you, and may you experience joy, peace, and hope. Bye.